boarded up now, the Lansing, Michigan train station. But 40 years ago, I stood on this platform awaiting the #1 team in the nation, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. They were scheduled to play Michigan State the next day. And it was right about here that Ara Parseghian's best running back, Nick Eddy, took a misstep stepping off the train. He re-injured his shoulder. He was unable to play in what was then described as the game of the century. "40 years ago is a long time, but not so long that the memories aren't still fresh. The emotions still alive." November 19th, 1966, East Lansing, Michigan. #1 Notre Dame against #2 Michigan State. A game that set new standards for excitement. It was dramatic. It was intense. It was college football distilled to its essence. And when Ara Parseghian kept it on the ground with 1:35 of the clock, it ended in a 10-10 tie. A final result ideal. The game both teams deserved to win. We remember that classic encounter and all the compelling contests these two schools have staged since, as once again, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame take on the Michigan State Spartans. This time, in prime time on Saturday Night Football. Now, 40 years later, the Michigan State scoreboard reminds us of a classic frozen in the memory bank. And tonight, on a rainy night in East Lansing, Michigan, Notre Dame and Michigan State meet for the 70th time as we welcome you to Saturday Night Football, presented by Southwest Airlines. Here at Spartan Stadium in East Lansing, it is the Michigan State Spartans against the #12 Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Magic Johnson and the big hitters have come out for this one. Good evening, everybody. Kirk Herbstreit and Bob Davie. I'm Brent Musburger. So many storylines tonight. Let's start with the two quarterbacks, Kirk. What a matchup between these two.
Well, they both come in, obviously, two different styles. Drew Stanton is an athletic quarterback that can make a defense pay with his running skills and also the ability to throw and create. Brady Quinn needs a big game. 5 turnovers last week for the offense, 11 penalties. He needs to start fast to regain his confidence. Look for some quick throws to try to establish that. And also with the weather, the fundamentals of protecting the football for both quarterbacks becomes imperative.
And Kirk, Bob Davie comes in here, having been a former head coach and a defensive coordinator. Bob, is this a tough place to bring a team into?
Brent, I can tell you from experience, this is a tough place to play. There's something about bringing a Notre Dame team in here on a Saturday night that's completely different than bringing them here on Saturday afternoon. I don't know what that crowd does all afternoon to get ready.
I think I do. I have an idea.
I think I have an idea, too. But this is a different place at night. It's critical for Notre Dame to get off to a fast start, or this crowd, particularly the student body, can take you out of this game.
All right, John, it's a rainy night in East Lansing as the Spartans come pouring out onto the field. Unbeaten Michigan State, but still with something to prove. A year ago in overtime in South Bend, they picked off the Fighting Irish. And now Charlie Weis and Notre Dame trying to bounce back after that beating they took at the hands of Michigan a week ago. A team that worked much harder in practice this week. They stayed in pads for an extra day. Buckle up, everybody. Here we go again. Notre Dame and Michigan State. 70th meeting here tonight. First one, 1897. Irish win it 34-6. The last time out, we mentioned the overtime game down there. And so Charlie Weis, he's probably walking on pins and needles this week, would you say, Bob Davie?
Well, I think the first thing you do, you forget about all those outside things happening, and you correct the problems you had last week. Notre Dame had 5 turnovers and 11 penalties. He's got a lot of things to work on.
John L. Smith comes into this football game, I think, very confident. Remember, Michigan State, Brent, as you said earlier, has won 7 of the last 9 meetings. The win last week at Pittsburgh for this Michigan State team was enormous coming into this showdown with the Irish.
Well, Charlie Weis's famed script offense will get the ball first. Weis won the toss. No deferring by the Notre Dame head coach. He wants the football right away. Todd Bolesky. And we are underway. It'll come out on the 20-yard line, and they will bring out. Now, a week ago, we need to go back and revisit how poorly Brady Quinn played in that game against Michigan. It was by far his poorest performance of this season, and you would have to go way back to last year because of the 3 interceptions.
And talking with Charlie Weiss yesterday, he said early in the game, a lot of quick drops, quick throws to get Brady Quinn's confidence up and established before they start to try to get vertical, which they have done the first 3 games, trying to get vertical early. This time, the quick passes to find the confidence.
They're going to try to establish the run. It was first down that Weiss was so concerned about, Kirk, as he told us. A couple of yards. Now, as we take a look at that, with Darius Walker getting the first carry of the game in our city Irish lineup, why can't Notre Dame run the ball, Kirk, better than they have?
Well, I think it's easy to look at Darius Walker, but I think it's also been play selection. They have tried to attack through the air, and I think now after a few games, they've learned some things, and they're going to try to attack in a different way. They need more balance tonight.
Now, Jeff Samardzija has tried during the week to establish better eye contact. They're going to run the draw. That's been a specialty of Walker's. But this is going to leave them in 3rd and long as the middle of that Spartan defense led by O.G. Nwaboko. I'll get that one right, folks. I'll work on that one.
I'll get that covered.
Bob, you take him tonight, okay?
Well, Brent, I'm going to call him OG because his mom even calls him OG. But this Michigan State defense has to pressure Brady Quinn. Otis Wally, they love him as a free safety, but the pressure to make Brady Quinn shuffle his feet is the key, Kirk, to this football game.
3rd down and 6. Incomplete. Irish will punt on the first series. That's not a positive start for Charlie Weiss and Notre Dame. That's not what they wanted.
Interesting here early, Coach, to see you're trying to get Brady confident, but it's tough to find that on 3rd down.
And Notre Dame, 2 of 14, Kirk, on 3rd downs against Michigan. It's now 2 of 15 on 3rd downs from the Irish.
There's Terry Love, number 18. The Spartans looking for early field position with the Irish punter, Jeff Price. Senior from Texas, and he's been a good one, averaging almost 50 yards a punt, standing inside the 15-yard line. Wales won. The Gunners come down. Love sprints past the first one. They're going to get field position right off the bat. There's a penalty flag, however. Hold on. We have got a penalty marker down on the 40-yard line. Would have been great field position though without the penalty. Coaches are all alike, folks. They'll take it on the 26, right, Kirk?
Oh, yeah.
First down and 10. And Colquitt, the power back, gets the first carry of the game. Breaks free. Midfield to the 44-yard line.
And right off the bat, you see the 260-pound tailback, J.U. Colrick. Richardson on the strong safety blitz. And Kirk, you will not see that very often. Tommy Zibikowski flat run over in the open field.
He just took a knee from Colquitt right through his chest. We'll see if he can recover from that. That is a big man running downhill.
A 29-yard gain, guys. Ball inside the 45-yard line, 1st and 10. The young man who immigrated from Liberia, and now wide open for Drew Stanton. He crosses the 35-yard line. Now the city Michigan State offense, and it looks this way. We've had a change in that offensive line. Bob, Daniel Zinn moves in at left guard.
Offensive line, a concern for Michigan State, Kirk. Brent. They lost 3 starters from last year. Daniel Zinn getting his first start. But I think the combination of the spread offense, also Drew Stanton's escapability, as we saw in that last play, Kirk, takes some of the pressure off the offensive line.
Yeah, his athletic ability will be a challenge for this Notre Dame defense all night.
Well, they bring the sticks on out to measure. And that's a first down against this defense. So let's take a look at the city Irish defense. And One of the spots we have to watch is at corner. Ambrose Wooden nicked up. Darren Walls, the freshman.
Well, we're going to keep an eye on Wooden and see if he's able to go and how much he's able to go. But the freshman right now on the field, Darren Walls, and they're going to challenge him and probably throw at him early and often to see how he responds. This Notre Dame defense not playing with very much confidence after last week.
The freshman's out of the Pittsburgh area. Stanton holds middle, fires, got it. Touchdown Spartans on their first series. Kerry Reed, the senior from Miami, 34 yards. Here's their new kicker, Brett Swenson. He tacks on the extra point. And in front of Bubba Smith and 44 other coaches and players from 1966, the Spartans roll down 73 yards in 3 plays, and they lead it by 7. And there is the wide receiver, Kerry Reed, who took it in 34 yards on a perfect strike from Drew Stanton. We've talked a lot about Brady Quinn over the last year, but Drew Stanton has got a great future in the NFL too, folks, and you'll see it here tonight. This one's coming out to 20. Bob, let's go back.
Anytime you play too deep where those safeties divide the field in halves, the linebacker, Maurice Crum, has to run with the number 3 receiver down the field. This is zone coverage, but it turns into man-to-man for Maurice Crum. He could not handle Kerry Reed.
3rd and 4. He'd like to curl this one for about 5 yards. And he was way beyond Raymond McKnight.
And the problem on 3rd down continues, Brent, for Notre Dame. They are now 2 for 16 on the last 18 third down situations. And that look right there says it all.
There's a little concern right there. And Terry Love, who caught that touchdown pass, is back to receive Jeff Price's punt. Michigan State has worked hard on a punt block this week at practice. High signals for the fair catch, slips. Now they'll need to get away from it, and the Irish will down it at about the 23-yard line. And again, the freshman, Darren Walls, at the left corner. So he has started a little bit soft over there on 2nd down. Stanton, middle, wide open for a 1st down, and that's Terry Love.
And there's no question, when Michigan State sees 2 safeties dividing the field in half, they're going to go right down the middle of the field. Here you see Terry Love right there. The inside linebacker, Travis Thomas, who moved from running back, gave up the inside position.
And because Notre Dame's defense is so spread out horizontally, it's opening up the middle of the field right behind those linebackers.
You can see how the Spartans stretch the field with this wide open offense. Here's Ringer into the middle and wrestled down by Trevor Laws as we. And Matt, we had a weather warning early, but with the wind coming out of the south at about 10 miles an hour, it's pushing that front a little bit further to the north. Here comes the pass by Matt Clennon. Wide open, touchdown, Michigan State. The catch by Javon Ringer. And so the young man we saw in practice who can air it out 70 yards. Matt Clennon goes 26 yards to the touchdown. He has the long-range arm for the Spartans. That fumble by Zivakowski results in the Spartans' 2nd touchdown.
And they stole that play right off the old ball coach, Steve Spurrier. Dave Baldwin, the offensive coordinator, said he was sitting home watching Mississippi State, South Carolina. Kirk, you had that game. They put it in the playbook the next day.
And Svensson adds the extra point.
Same result.
Exactly. You're going to see right here, you're going to see Ringer slip out of the backfield, and Matt Trannon, a perfect throw to Javon Ringer.
They lost Ringer. What a breakdown at the defensive side. Not a linebacker, not a safety in sight. Oh my, it's 14-0.
I think Michigan State taking great advantage early in the game, Brent, of having the wind. Interesting, Charlie Weiss decided to take the football, go into the wind here in the first quarter.
With the wind at his back, this one is fielded a yard deep, and George West is coming out to the 20-yard line. From the gun, Samardzija in motion for the Irish. Can't find a man. Sacked down at the 16-yard line, and Clifton Ryan, who moved this year from defensive end to defensive tackle, the senior from Saginaw, makes the stop.
Well, there isn't any question coming into this game. I had great concerns about the Michigan State secondary, but they do a tremendous job on this. Michigan State only rushes 4, but that is the coverage sack, and Clifton Ryan, number 92, eventually gets the pressure on Brady Quinn.
And Coach, I noticed that a backup tackle, Paul Duncan, number 72, was on the field for the Irish on that replay. Jeff Price is now on to punt. Remember what I said? The Spartans have worked long and hard on trying to get to the punter. If they let this one go, they still should get great field position. They've had the ball 3 times and 2 touchdowns. Fair catch, and there it is at the 44-yard line.
The thing about Drew Stanton that makes him so difficult is he'll check to the option. He can scramble. That's what makes this offense so tough. If you've watched Louisville, if you've watched West Virginia, when you have an athletic quarterback who's not afraid to run with the ball, you're put into a position as a defense. You kind of pick your poison. Are we going to stop the pass? Or are we going to try to stop the run?
What I love about Drew Stanton, an NFL first-round prospect, but he has the courage and the attitude to run the option. Not many guys that highly rated will be out here running option football.
Look at this run. Guys, look at this. He's still going. 30. And he didn't want to go out of bounds. They're going to wrestle him down on the 15-yard line. Zivakowski was over there. That's a 37-yard run. And that really illustrates your point, Bob, right there.
Well, I think Kirk brought the point up, and it's a great point. If you play man-to-man and chase receivers all over the field. You see Notre Dame right here, Maurice Crum chasing the running back. All of a sudden, when that quarterback breaks the line of scrimmage, all the defenders have their eyes on the receiver, not the quarterback. But I do think Drew Stanton ought to get out of bounds right there.
But that's my point exactly. If you cover up, down, underneath, you take away receivers, and you open up running lanes for the athletic quarterback.
Did you run like that?
Oh, yeah, a little bit more graceful than that. Give me a little credit.
In high school,
yeah, give me a little credit now.
Go quick. 5 on the game clock, and there is a flag. So it's stopped, and the officials will move in here.
Yeah, I want to say one thing. You asked Coach right after this.
73 offense, false start, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Roland Martin, Kirk.
Brent, you asked Coach, what can you do as a secondary coach? What can you do to make adjustments? The thing that I'm really surprised by, after what happened in South Bend, forget X's and O's. Passion, attitude. Playing defense is like rebounding in basketball. It's an attitude. And right now, this Notre Dame defense, from the first play, they've been on their heels, and they have not been aggressive, which is surprising after last week.
The penalty brings the ball back outside the 20-yard line. Stanton's going to lob, end zone, dropped. He had another one, and Kerry Reed didn't hang on. That was 6, folks.
If you want to know why he's a first-round quarterback, it's because of the running ability, but it's also because of the touch down here inside the red zone.
No question. And Kerry Reed, who had a great game, 7 catches last week against Pittsburgh, should have made that catch. And if I'm Michigan State right now with the wind, you better take advantage of every scoring opportunity, because I'm telling you, Notre Dame will get untrapped offensively before this game's over.
You think?
Oh, I know.
Second down and 15. Ringer is right off to Stanton's left. And there's a great counter step. Ringer dives to the 14-yard line. And let's fence it on for the 31-yarder. The holder's the punter, Brandon Fields. Good looking leg. Something the Spartans lacked. a year ago. Dependable field goal kicking. And now they go up by 17. If you're looking for a sleeper around the country, remember Michigan State. And here's Bolesky's kick. He's been strong here tonight. Right at the goal line. George West again. Got a hole. And he's to the 31-yard line. Into the first quarter.
Into the first quarter.
Saturday Night Football, presented by Southwest Airlines, returns after this message and a word from our ABC station. Note the flag, folks, and the wind knocked that punt down. There's a little question about that, and that wind is going to be behind Brady Quinn and the Irish. A huge drive for Quinn's confidence. Throwing to the end zone. Raymond McKnight goes up. Got it. Touchdown. What a catch by McKnight on a beautiful throw by number 10. And with the wind finally at their back, the 32-yard score.
The no huddle this time for Charlie Weiss gets this offense going. Let's see if Raymond McKnight gets his feet down, gets away with a little bit of a push. The right foot is down, secures the football. That's a touchdown for Notre Dame. See if they'll take another look at it. Great look right there. His right foot does get down once he secures the ball. But I love the call by Charlie Weiss to go no huddle, creates tempo, and gets the ball right down the field into the end zone.
Carl Joya tacks on the extra point. Damon Williams had terrific coverage. It was just a great play by number 5, and the Irish are on the board. You just can't wait to watch that game on Monday night, guys.
What an amazing story, and it has a feel of a mini Super Bowl Monday night. So it's great to see New Orleans, and that city is going to be alive on Monday night.
Short kickoff, field by Williams at the 9-yard line. Burst hole. And he's out to the 28-yard line. Let's go back to that touchdown.
If you only rush 4, Michigan State's going to rush 4, and you leave your corners one-on-one, in my opinion, against Notre Dame, the corners have no chance because Raymond McKnight and Jeff Samardzija, if you allow them to run down the field and give Brady Quinn time, they are the best in the country, in my opinion, of going up and just catching the jump ball.
And that's a great catch.
3rd down and 8. Drops it off incomplete, and the Irish are about to get it with that wind at their back again.
I'm telling you right now, the body language, the feel, just from looking over to the Notre Dame sideline, they're no longer guys sitting around standing looking at one another. There's an attitude all of a sudden that's been sparked, and you can see it.
And Michigan State, always a history of being a streaky football team. Sometimes real good for Michigan State, but then other times real bad.
Brandon Fields back to punt. Oh, they were close that time. No penalty flag thrown by the referee, back by the punter. So this will roll down dead and just inside the 15-yard line. So we'll take a break. It's the Irish and the Spartans. Things are heating up in East Lansing on a Saturday night. It is 17-7. Peace has been restored with 9:32 to go in the second.
For now.
Brady Quinn up under center. Darius Walker, his running back. Drop it off to him. And Darius is out of bounds at the 19-yard line. And let's go back. Let's revisit that incident.
Well, the first thing you're going to see, Ryan Harris, 68, the offensive tackle, right there, grabs the face mask of Matt Trannon on that sideline.
Right, there's some Notre Dame part of their staff getting involved there too, trying to get the Michigan State people out of the way. And it's during our commercial, John L. Smith pulling Matt Trannon to the side and saying, hey, let's keep your head in the game. Stay fired up here. We need you.
2nd down and 6. Intercepted! And taken to the house. Touchdown, Michigan State. Irvin Baldwin, the all-junior college defensive end. His first year with the Spartans, a 19-yard interception return for the touchdown. What a turn of events.
I think that'll kill momentum.
Yeah, well, Chris Smalling told us earlier this week, the defensive coordinator, that the reason Baldwin's in there is because of his instincts. That time he drops into a zone at the defensive end, which is a zone blitz, falls right into position, and Brady Quinn did not account for him, didn't even see him, and threw it right into his hands.
And Irvin Baldwin, who's not even here in the spring, a junior college transfer from California, makes the play.
They're going to see and make sure that he was in the end zone. So we'll offer up some replays here so that Dick Honig, who is right next to us at the replay booth, can take a look at it. Now, you be the official. Is the knee down before the ball was in the end zone? That's pretty close, and from behind him, not definitive. Take a look here now. He goes down. It might be a little bit short here, guys. What do you think?
It could be a little bit short. I think it depends, obviously, where the ball, whether or not it got across. If it's not in, the ball's on the 1-inch line.
Charlie Weiss now, he's having a long talk over there with Brady Quinn.
Play stands as called.
Touchdown. So Irvin Baldwin, who grew up in Georgia, he was a JUCO All-American a year ago, went out to California, and this is the first of 2 years of eligibility here in East Lansing for the Spartans. Brett Svensson will try to tack it on, and just when you think the Irish have a chance to close in, Michigan State responds with a touchdown interception, and once again they go out leading it by 17 for the second time tonight. "40 years ago, a 10-10 tie here tonight in the first half. Michigan State leads it 24-7. That legendary 66 game. Many of the members of the Michigan State team of that year are back here. Bubba Smith, George Webster, Clinton Jones, Gene Washington. Four fellas who the next year went in the top 8 picks in the NFL draft. Imagine that. Here's your kickoff into the wind. You can see how much shorter it is. Fielded on the 6. This is George West, his first return. And George is out to the 28-yard line. 4th down and 1 now. Travis Thomas comes in. The linebacker is the power back. The Irish are going to gamble here. Down 24-17. A play fake. It's a beauty. Throws wide open. Carlson first down at the 36-yard line. John Carlson, the senior tight end from Minnesota, broke wide open.
And Otis Wiley, the free safety, and the linebackers Thornhill actually get out of position, and an excellent call, a gutsy call on 4th and a yard and a half by Charlie Weiss. He fakes it, and the patience by Brady Quinn puts it up in the air, and an easy play for John Carlson.
I'll tell you what, a touchdown-saving tackle by the corner, Damon Williams, who was lined up on the other side on Jeff Samardzija.
4th down and 1. The Irish hit for 27 yards. Now come back, and Darius Walker tries to get north-south and does. About 9 yards on that run. Williams comes up in the corner.
In the last 2 series, if you take away the interception by Brady Quinn, there's no question that the no huddle is not only, and this time they're going to get back in the huddle, but the no huddle that we've seen these last few series is not only affecting Notre Dame's confidence, but all of a sudden Michigan State, look at their defensive linemen, hand on their hips, a little bit of fatigue, pulling back a little bit and losing their aggressiveness.
Number 51 is Baldwin. He's the defensive end who intercepted the pass for a touchdown for the Spartans and put them up 24-17. There's the delay, first down. Darius Walker, the youngster from Georgia, to the 17-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. Plenty of time for the Irish with that wind at their back here.
And Kirk, as you watch this Notre Dame team, Darius Walker, to me, is really the key to this football team. Brady Quinn obviously gets the publicity, which he should, Samardzija, McKnight, but this guy right here, Darius Walker, I think is one heck of a football player. He won the Georgia Tech game the first night of the season.
Totally agree, because he is a great fit in his style and the way he fits into this offense.
Charlie wants a quick pass, that flanker screen. Samardzija on first down, and Samardzija for the end zone. Touchdown, Irish. Jeff Samardzija takes it down the far sideline, and just like that, They're a point away from reducing it to 10 on the 17-yard touchdown pass.
Brady Quinn's in a rhythm right now. They call that a look pass. If the safety is off, and he was off, he has the option. The play is designed as a run for the linemen and for the running backs. If the safety is off the receiver, Samardzija, Brady Quinn simply takes the ball, throws it out to his man, Samardzija, and he gets into the end zone. Nice job, nice recognition, and a good throw by Brady Quinn.
Now Samardzija's the holder here for Joya. Tacks it on, back to within 10. The key play, the 4th and 1.
Kirk, you talk about, excuse me, Brent, you talk about the look pass. Let's take a look at what Brady Quinn sees. What he sees is an uncovered receiver right here. So he's just going to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, which makes Raymond McKnight's block legal. But Damon Williams, the corner for Michigan State, has to force that football back inside.
He does have to, but what this all comes back to is the 4th and 1 call by Charlie Weiss. In his own territory, down 24-7, 4th and a yard and a half, and he fakes the isolation up the middle and makes a big-time throw by Quinn to Carlson.
So here we go again, this time from the 30-yard line. Picked up at the 5, Williams again. Looking for a hole, look out! To the 41-yard line. We're starting to move into that heart of the college football season now. Ohio State sitting there #1 on our Saturday night on ABC. We'll follow the Buckeyes to Iowa City on Saturday night. Hope you'll circle that day, 8 Eastern time we get started. And here's Ringer. He scored a touchdown on a pass from Matt Frannon. In case you just joined us, the basketball player threw a touchdown strike. Now Stanton was up identifying the Mike linebacker. Kyle Cook normally does that with the line calls for them. And there is the big fella, J.U. Colquitt.
This is how you make a statement right here. And I think J.U. Colquitt, Kirk, let's go back to the first run of the football game. J.U. Colquitt really did the same thing when he ran over Tommy Zibikowski. He just did it again. This time he ran over Ndukwe, the other safety.
You know what's funny is Dave Baldwin, the offensive coordinator, told us this week that they continue to encourage him. Use your size. Run downhill. And that time, it's the second time we've seen it, no problem running downhill and right through another safety.
Fellas, this is a huge series for both these teams right now. 1st down and 10. There's the reverse. Stanton to throw the block. The Irish, though, were not fooled. Terry Love, the wide receiver, and Mike Richardson up to make the stop that time.
And after the razzle-dazzle with the throw, all of a sudden, you see the reverse coming. You're a safety. You're a linebacker. You start to get your head on a swivel, and you start running backwards. And this time, they try to attack him by running the football.
Hey, the scouts are going to note that block.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I love.
Tough on Brady.
Dave Baldwin, the offensive coordinator for Michigan State, does a great job. The former head coach at San Jose State. This is a tough offense to defend.
2nd and 5, one of the most prolific offenses in the country. Down the line with that option look, and Stanton's going to keep it, but he hit his own lineman. Then he may have been able to reach forward for the 1st down, Michigan State.
Coach, going back to your point about Dave Baldwin, I thought it was interesting talking to him. We had a chance to visit with him that he said, you know, I said it looks so much like West Virginia's offense or Louisville's offense. And he said, you know, what's interesting is we all get together at a OU one-back offensive clinic at Oklahoma, and we discuss and share ideas with schools, Louisville, West Virginia. So you're seeing a lot of similarities. The one thing that West Virginia and Michigan State have is an athletic quarterback who can throw the football.
1st and 10. Scooped it up. Touchdown, Michigan State. Kerry Reed. And Kerry Reed's 2nd touchdown of the night.
And we just saw that a moment ago with Jeff Samardzija.
I was going to say, pay back a little bit here for Michigan State's offense. We just said what a huge drive this is for both teams. And Drew Stanton answered the call with 8 plays and 59 yards. Nice little mix of run and pass right down the field and into the end zone.
And go back to the offsides on the kickoff. that gave Michigan State 20 more yards and the freedom to call what they wanted to call offensively.
Svensson makes it 31-14.
Now this is what we're looking at right here. You have a chance here to take advantage of it, get him to the outside, and that's what this time Drew Stanton looked at. The blitz comes, he puts it to the outside, and then you have a defensive back go down. When you have a defensive back in Dukeway fall, makes it pretty easy to walk into the end zone.
Darren Walls, the corner, who is the widest guy on the football field for Notre Dame, just let the ball outside him right there.
It's a sign of his youth and inexperience, and Dave Baldwin says, we'll take it.
Charlie, it seemed like every time you guys got the momentum, they came right back at you. What's going wrong defensively for you guys?
Well, first of all, it's not just defensively. When we started to get a little gas in our tank, we throw the interception for the touchdown. Now, they've made some big plays right there. What we need to do is get it to a 2-score game so we can have a chance to compete in this game.
Now, the no huddle has been effective for you. What made you decide to go to it?
Well, in the first quarter, we just weren't moving the ball. I had 1 first down the whole first quarter, and I had to change the pace because we just weren't getting anything done.
We'll see more of it in the second half.
Well, we're down 17.
Thanks. Good luck.
All right, Lisa. And right now, let's send it to New York. John Saunders, Craig James, and Doug Flutie. Take it away, Big John.
And right now the Spartans are standing up strong, leading 31-14, and it's time for our Southwest Airlines playbook from the first half. Hard to overcome 2 critical turnovers in the first half. The first, a fumble on the punt, gave them a half a field, and then Bob Davie, that critical interception.
And Brent, Notre Dame with 5 turnovers last week against Michigan. Uncharacteristically, your 2 leaders, Tommy Zibikowski and Brady Quinn, with big turnovers tonight. You can't have your leaders on your football team make turnovers on the road.
Yeah, 5 turnovers last week led to 24 points for Michigan. Tonight, the 2 turnovers lead to 14 points. But Notre Dame's probably thinking about last year when they played Michigan State and how they got behind and still had an ability to come back in that game.
This kickoff is going to be returned from the 9-yard line by Williams of the Spartans, and a good return out to the 34. And our Pacific Life game summary, and as you might expect, the numbers certainly favor the Spartans. Look at the total yards.
What concerns me the most, if I'm Notre Dame, is that 143 yards rushing by Michigan State. The quarterback, Drew Stanton, was 60 yards. Kalkrick, the big tailback. Michigan State, the more physical team, Kirk, and I think they have the ability to run the ball against Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's challenged not only to get back in this game, but to keep Michigan State's offense off the field. I don't think they can stop them.
Here's from the gun, the fake by Stanton, going to go deep middle, incomplete as he overthrew Kerry Reed. Abi Amiri, who made the play, number 95, you saw him trotting off the field. Big time defensive end. Bill Lewis is there talking to the defender as they come out. Bill Lewis is on the field, and Rick Minner this year has moved up into the booth. Rick, of course, the defensive coordinator. Brandon Fields booms one, and it goes into the end zone, and it'll come out on the 20-yard line. All right, Kirk, you talked about last year's game, so let's go back and take a look.
Well, this is one of the better games of the year last year in college football. Michigan State had a lead at one point of 21 points in the third quarter. Notre Dame came all the way back and went back and forth. One of those instant classics. But it was interesting to think that Notre Dame, probably in the locker room tonight, said, guys, remember, we were down 21 to this team in the third quarter. We can come back. And, of course, the infamous flag scene from last year.
An overtime win for the Spartans in South Bend. 1st and 10. Still trying to establish that run. Not much doing.
Kirk, you talk about last year's game. I don't think I've ever seen a statistic where the team that lost the game had 98 plays. Notre Dame. The team that won, Michigan State, had 63 plays. That's 35 more plays Notre Dame had than Michigan State. They had the ball 36 minutes to 24. And you just underlined right there exactly what's on everybody's mind in this stadium.
Incomplete. Samardzija. And, of course, in overtime, the Irish had the ball first. They kicked the field goal, and the Michigan State scored the winning touchdown after that. Now it's 3rd down and 9.
The respect you have for Brady Quinn in this offense, it's like every play's a critical play, and Michigan State has a 17-point lead, but you know the potential of this offense.
trying to convert a third down for the first time tonight. They are 0 of 6. Samardzija for the first down. Sliding to the 35-yard line, the first conversion, a huge third down.
And a great job of pass protection. Watch Ryan Harris, 68 right here on Irvin Baldwin. Might be holding him a little bit, but it all starts with that protection, because if Brady Quinn can set his feet, it's going to be a completion.
It comes down to him, as you said, setting his feet, stepping, and being able to throw the football. He's going to be on target almost every time. And again, the no huddle for the Irish.
Looking downfield for a receiver. They're all covered. He dives to the 38. To be second down and long is Justin Kershaw for 95 there.
I think a key to this game, the stamina and conditioning of this Michigan State defense, because it's going to be a free-for-all throwing the football for Notre Dame. You better alternate defensive linemen in there, keep them fresh, because conditioning on that defense is a factor.
That's probably an area where they've improved the most, as they have more depth up front and the secondary as well.
Nwalbo down in his stance. I knew I'd get that name right. Second and 7. Middle, wide opens Carlson again. The tight end, 20. 5, dives, touchdown, Notre Dame. What a play, wide open. The tight end, John Carlson, 62 yards, and the Irish battling back again.
Outstanding job, and we don't have to know any of these signals and what they're doing. You can see exactly what happened with the quarterback seeing the blitz, checking to it. The safety decided to come up, and Brady Quinn recognized that and took a shot downfield for a touchdown.
What do you mean we don't need to know the signals? What kind of fun is that? Come on. Of course we want to know the signals.
Just keeping you on your toes there.
You don't think I was listening to you. Joya tacks on the extra point. What a rascal. I thought he was my buddy. 31-21. So the Irish back to within 10 again, as tight end John Carlson takes it home for the Irish. Ball on the tee. Rinkus to kick it off here as Notre Dame climbs back to within 10. Aiming for the corner over there and not into the end zone. So here's first down for Drew Stanton. Remember now, the Irish defense has forced 3 and out on 2 series. Not this time. That is Colquitt busting across midfield, and now they are at the 44-yard line. The rain driving down here in East Lansing. The wind starting to pick up. Again, we've been alerted. 30-mile-an-hour winds are coming in. It's at the Spartan back right now. Colquitt bust for the end zone. Touchdown Spartans. J.U. Colquitt, a 30-yard run. So the Irish gamble, failed, give the Spartans a short field, and they punch it in with the wind at their back. The young man who fled Liberia, whose mother is here tonight watching. What a wonderful story he is.
And guys, Tommy Zibikowski that time disappeared. We just were talking about having 2 safeties, and we have 2 safeties. You better make that play.
Botch on the handle and the snap, which could happen in the bad weather. Brandon Fields couldn't get it down for Brett Swenson perfectly. First, we'll take a look at the touchdown here on the 61-yard touchdown drive.
The player of the game right now, J.U. Colquitt. You see number 81, the big tight end, Dwayne Holmes, the 260 pounds in the rain. And his mother right there, even though it's raining, she's somewhere in there.
Circle
the happiest lady.
She's in the hat.
There's her mother right there.
Let's go down to Lisa for that story. There. Lisa?
Well, Brent, as you know, J.U. has a tattoo of Africa on his left bicep with the words, "Always remember," and that's because when he was 6 years old, civil war broke out in his native country, Liberia. 3 years later, his father, who was a very high-ranking government official, was assassinated, forcing J.U. and the rest of his family to go on the run. For the next several months, he said, they went from refugee camp to refugee camp, just trying to stay alive. At times, they had to step over dead bodies that were in the streets. It was just an awful time, he says. Finally, his mother, who had already come to the United States, she took a shot in the dark. She went back to Liberia, didn't know where her family was, went door to door. By some miracle, she found them and brought them all back to the United States. But J.U. says it's something that he will never, ever forget. And he says he doesn't really want to. Brent?
Yeah, wonderful story, Lisa. Now the ball is back down inside the 10-yard line. First down. Irish to throw it. Rama can't handle it one-handed as he goes out of bounds, and you can see just how miserable our conditions are becoming here.
And Brent, I want to bring this point up, Kirk. Notre Dame, the 5th most penalized team in college football coming into this game. 76 yards a game, turnovers and penalties is the biggest problem Notre Dame has.
And the yardage won't show it there in the paper tomorrow, but you're talking about an entire football field and 7 points up on the board.
Kirk, Tommy Zibikowski was just celebrating in the end zone a minute ago.
Yep. It's also a deflator for this team.
2nd and 10. Brady coming out of his own end zone high and incomplete. The third quarter comes to an end. Michigan State has rushed for 209 yards and held the Irish to 54. Saturday Night Football, presented by Southwest Airlines, returns after this message and a word from our ABC station. Back to start the final quarter. Notre Dame trailing by 16, facing a 3rd and 10. From the end zone, on the move, and the Irish are forced to punt. And folks, the wind has turned against Notre Dame. It has turned completely around. We understand that the rain is going to stay about like it is now, and the wind will howl. And there you can see the flags, what the Irish are up against, trying to come back now, trailing by 16 points. And remember, Michigan State has pounded for 209 yards on the ground so far.
Saturday night in Spartan Stadium, that wind changed right on cue, Brent, when the 4th quarter came.
You called it at the top of the broadcast, Coach, when you said this is a tough place to win, man, on the road. Look at the wind. Look at how it holds up this punt. Short field coming up. Our Pacific Life game summary, and we take you back to the Spartans attack, and Drew Stanton here tonight's 8 of 16, 91 yards, a couple of touchdowns, got one going early, and then it was Colquitt, 8 carries, 111 yards, and a score, picking off the pass, scoring, and the Irish getting back on the tight end, Carlson. Carlson tonight with 3 catches for 89 yards in that one score. So it's 37-21. And looking for daylight is Ringer. Ringer runs a 4.34 40. So he's the burner. If he gets daylight and finds a seam, it's adios.
Brent, they get him healthy. You know, he still has that ankle. This kid is going to be a big-time player. I'm still amazed, though, at Michigan State's ability to run the football when everybody in the stadium knows they are going to run the football right now.
You can see that Frome was creating some havoc, too, number 75, wasn't he, on that play? 3rd and 42. Don't know if they've got a play for that. Matt Trannon has not caught a pass tonight, threw one touchdown pass in the first half. And there's that counter step with Javon Ringer trying to get back, and there's a penalty flag. Getting horse collared over there. Maurice Crum, the leading tackler for the Irish, and holding going to be called. Oh my!
You have to think Notre Dame will decline that penalty right here, obviously.
70-yard offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Well, Bob, let's go to your point of where we stand overall, the big picture of this game.
Yeah, and you go back to that missed extra point. It's still a 16-point game. 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions.
Zbikowski had an 85-yard touchdown call back. Brandon Fields. A bit under his average, but he did have one 73-yarder that he wishes was only 70 because it rolled into the end zone. Zbikowski going to hope this one goes in, and it does. It'll come out on the 20-yard line. So the Irish, down by 16, will take over on their own 20-yard line when you come back and join us on a rainy night. Well, we made the point earlier about fresh defensive linemen, and right now Irvin Baldwin, who's played a fine game, is out, and Brandon Long, number 47, is in that down line. The defensive line for the Spartans much improved here tonight, and they've caused the Irish offensive line a lot of trouble. Brady has time this time, fires high, middle, on the deflection, caught by the tight end Carlson. Look what I found.
That's the first break that Notre Dame's been able to catch, and Brady Quinn indecisive, good coverage downfield. He's nice time. That time they gave him time to throw, but he was high with the ball, maybe aiming it a little bit there when the ball's high. That time, though, deflects off a receiver's own receiver's hand and right into Carlson for a big gain.
32 yards is the gain, and on first down, now he's forced out, in trouble, sacked at the 45-yard line, loses 7 yards on the play.
Again, time to throw. And what I'm noticing, watching the receivers, they're very, very careful with the distribution of their weight because of the slippery field, and it's taking them a lot longer to run their routes. There was nobody open, and it's because it took them so long to get downfield.
If you think back to last year, Kirk, of Brady Quinn just standing flat foot in that pocket, and that ball coming out of there on timing and rhythm. The timing of this passing game right now is off.
2nd and 17. The shorter drop, Samardzija, and he's short of the first down.
That's more of what you're seeing, what you'd expect to see. Quick 5 steps, take your hitch, get the ball out. Now Brady Quinn back to the line again, trying to keep not only his own tempo, but trying to keep Michigan State's defense, keep them from being aggressive. See if the Spartans still try to bring the pressure here on 3rd down.
So Darian Adams made that defensive play, number 27. 3rd down and 5 for Notre Dame.
Not a bad down to run the draw right here. Obviously 4-down territory.
Going to go deep on it. And the receiver flag, not going to get it. Jeff Samardzija was looking for help. Wanted to be bailed out by the referee.
Well, if you're Brady Quinn, you will take this matchup. Your best receiver against a safety, one-on-one. You've got to put in a position where he can go up in the air and make a catch. It's fine coverage by Adams, but you've got to give him a chance. He's known for his ability to go up, make a catch, give him a chance.
And a lot of times when the defensive back doesn't look back, you get pass interference called. Good no call, though, in my opinion, right there.
It leaves him with a 4th and 5. Short drop, fires for it, got the first down, kept it going. Samardzija's got a block, headed for the end zone. Jeff Samardzija reaches for the end zone. Got the touchdown.
And it's amazing how we can go from saying they're not in sync, what's going on, to boom, 2 plays, cut back by Samardzija, gets a block, goes into the end zone. And guys, if they hit this conversion, Michigan State's going to look back at that previous drive and say, what did we do? Big play and a great throw by Brady Quinn.
And straight man-to-man coverage that time by Michigan State, and they missed the tackle in the open field as soon as he caught the ball.
Huge play, obviously, here, Brent.
Here comes the 2-point conversion. Trying to move it to a 1-score game. And moving Samardzija to the other side of the formation. And Adams goes with him.
Always Jeff Samardzija in the red zone. You better defend Samardzija.
They're going to try to run for it. Can Darius get there? He cannot. It'll take 2 scores for the Irish. Otis Wiley, number 21, who moved from nickelback to free safety, making the stop on the run.
Are you surprised at the call, Kirk?
Very surprised. Very surprised.
Better yet, do you agree with it? I'll ask the two wise men when we come back in just a moment. The Spartans lead it by 10, 37-27, and some very brave students down there, with Brady Quinn having thrown 4 touchdown passes here tonight, and that one interception. You can see how he's picked it up.
After his slow start, I have to say his best 3 quarters of football that he's played this whole year.
And if you take the interception away, it's been a great 3 quarters of football.
The Irish don't onside kick it, and it goes through the end zone where it will come out on the 20-yard line. So 3rd and 9.
Man-to-man coverage all the way right here for the Irish, and Drew Stanton sees it.
We'll try to run for it, keep that clock. A very conservative decision. Fumble! The Irish say they've got it. And the Spartans are saying it should be down right there. Notre Dame football, the break they wanted. 6-10 in Dukwe. Yanked it out. The safety number 18. Shenandoah in Dukwe. Keep an eye now on what number 18 does here. Look at him reach in. He's going to steal the football. Takes it away and recovers it. What a play by Ndukwe. And that's the first Spartan turnover of the night.
Give Notre Dame a lot of credit for ripping it out. But, guys, if you've watched Michigan State for the last 50 years, you know that this is why you're Michigan State. The last drive, they had 1st and 10 at the Notre Dame 30, went all the way back, gave Brady Quinn a chance to come back. I said at the break, the next thing you see, they're going to fumble at their own 20, make it to 25.
There they are. Brady Quinn stepping up, going to take off. There's a flag. Penalty flag is thrown by the referee.
I think Bob.
76 offense, 10 yards, previous spot, still first down.
You're going to see the right guard, Bob Morton, right there. Just gets engulfed by big Clifford Ryan on the bull rush.
The big decision by the Spartan coaches was moving Clifton Ryan from end to tackle, and he has been a load tonight for the middle of that Irish defensive line. Number 92 has created havoc. Brady looking to throw the screen, incomplete. And they want intentional grounding. There's the flag. There it is.
Wow.
Ineligible downfield, number 50. 5-yard previous spot, still first down.
Chris Smalling, the defensive coordinator of Michigan State, got his point across to these linebackers. This time, David Herron just grabs a hold of Darius Walker before the ball is thrown, trying to get a hold of him, knowing that Notre Dame loves to screen in these kind of situations.
That's a Quinn mistake on where he threw the ball.
Exactly. The reason it was a penalty was because the lineman was downfield. It was supposed to be a screen. The ball wasn't thrown behind the line. It was thrown over the line.
Here's Quinn going back deep, overthrow, the end zone incomplete. Nehemiah Warwick. So Nehemiah Warwick from Bradenton, Florida knocks it down.
And that jump ball makes me envision what's coming here, because there are going to be some jump balls like that late in this game, I promise you.
2nd and 27. Quinn steps away. Fires back again. Samardzich's double teamed, and that's a penalty. That's an automatic first down. They're bailed out. It was 2nd down and a whole bunch, and they just got the first down. Warwick and Wiley were back. They needed 27 yards for the first down, and this is an automatic first down.
Pass interference, defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And Bob Davie is an old defensive coach. You know it. We all know it. When a safety has to get caught up on a play and he just runs right into a receiver, he's going to get called every single time. And this time, Otis Wiley, who was fooled, had to come back in a full sprint. The ball's underthrown. He couldn't stop. He runs right into Jeff Samardzich.
Well, he panicked because he was close enough to Samardzich that he could have looked back at that football, but he panicked and ran right through Samardzich. And this game will come down to jump balls like that.
5:12 remaining. On the slant, put it back in his hands. 1st and 10 inside the 15-yard line.
Is this the same quarterback that we watched in the first 2 or 3 series? You talk about how the mindset affects anybody in any profession, and I think this is an example. Brady Quinn is back and just firing the ball and putting it right on the money to Jeff Samardzija.
He now has thrown for better than 300 yards. Going for more. Rema's got it. What a great catch. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Now the question becomes, they'll kick the one here to sit on 3. Do they go to the onside kick with 4:57 to go? They're still going to be behind. Rema McKnight with his 2nd touchdown reception of the evening.
I want to see if his left foot got down. Make sure he's in the end zone here. Ball is perfectly thrown. The foot is down.
This wasn't even close.
Yep, and it's a touchdown. Gets right behind Greg Cooper, a safety that last year who moved to corner. 2nd time, Raymond McKnight has been able to get back to that corner.
Joya needs this extra point. Pulled it badly to the left. That's a huge miss. That is a huge miss. 37-33, and it's back to 4, and that is an enormous number for Charlie Weiss right now.
You always wonder on a wet field what happens to that plant foot. Let's look at his left foot right here. Good plant. He just hooked it to the left, and just take a look at Charlie's reaction. This will say it all.
Missed a 2-point conversion, missed the extra point.
2 sides of the story now, back to 4, which means Notre Dame needs the football and a touchdown, not a field goal. 70 points put on the scoreboard here tonight. 40 years ago, a total of 20. They wound up tied at 10-10. How the game has changed here. Around 4:57 to go.
I think Notre Dame will kick this ball deep, but it's all on the Michigan State offense right now. Notre Dame will be up there with 8 guys close to the line of scrimmage. They will force Michigan State to throw the ball.
Well, that's the issue. Will Dave Baldwin, the offensive coordinator, be aggressive, or will he try to just kill the clock?
Rankus takes it back. Return man, the 6 is Williams. He'll take a knee right there. And
excuse me?
Why would you take a knee right there, gentlemen?
The reason he did, they had the onside expecting team on the field, so they didn't have a return set up. But he had a lot of real estate right there. He could have gained without anybody.
Don't you work on, if the ball's kicked deep with the hands team on, at least you attempt.
Get as much as you can, then go down.
Okay.
You don't necessarily
now
have
the
to
ball's
take the hit.
Now the ball's inside the 12-yard line.
Feel kind of a cloud of doom over top of this right now, don't you?
I feel the pressure. Ball's in the court now, John L. Smith. With the lead, the way Notre Dame has come on, how do they attack this Notre Dame defense?
Coach, when should he start using the timeouts? Charlie Weiss, he's got all 3 now. He's got to think about when to use it.
Yeah, Brent, I would use it right away after this first play, obviously depending on the outcome, because Michigan State's going to let it run all the way down.
Here comes Javon Ringer. So he is out to the 19-yard line. Here's a situation for Weiss to use one.
It always comes down, doesn't it, in close games? You have to be able to run the football.
He's going to let this run right here as the clock continues to move. He elected not to use number 1. He has all 3. Remember, in Dukeway, stripped the ball away on the last series. 2nd down and 3. Irish need the football, and they need to preserve time here. Stanton is stopped. Travis Thomas.
The fact that Charlie Weiss is not using the timeouts, it's all going to come down to this play on 3rd down. He's showing a lot of confidence in his defense. He believes that they can come up with a stop, and he's decided to preserve those timeouts depending on what happens right here on 3rd down.
And if I'm Rick Minner, I make Michigan State throw the football right here. Do not let Drew Stanton run a quarterback draw. Make him throw the football to beat you, and that's what they're doing. They've got them all up there on the line of scrimmage.
Option 2.
He's back in the gun on 3rd and 3.
Not a bad
Bring it on
screen
down.
down from Michigan State.
High, intercepted. 15, 10. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Terrell Lambert, the junior from Oxnard, California, puts the Irish up by 2 with 2:53 to go. Stunned Spartan Stadium.
We just talked about the momentum and the attitude of this football game going back and forth and how it's favored Notre Dame here in the second half. And Brent, the amazing thing is Terrell Lambert last week was a young man who had a hard day against Michigan and Mario Manningham. This time he gets redemption.
A big extra point. Carl Joya hooked the last one. Needs this one to sit on a 3.
You know exactly what he's thinking. If he lets this one slip away, and I'm talking about this Michigan State team, it's hard to ever overcome one like this.
Well, we saw that last year after they played Ohio State. Lost 6 of their last 7 after starting 4-0.
Slips this one through now. So it's a 3 with 2:53
We're
to go.
talking about a 5th-year senior quarterback right here.
Yep. But Derek Landry, the defensive lineman, got back into coverage on the zone blitz, got a hand up, and that, I think, was enough to get in the way of the Michigan State receiver, and it's great to see Lambert. Lambert last week couldn't do anything right against Manningham, and this week he gets an opportunity to come up and make a play, and how about not only making the catch, but showing the athletic ability to take that all the way to the house for the go-ahead score.
Michigan State with back-to-back turnovers.
Charlie Weiss says, thank you. We will take that from the defense.
Notre Dame 3 touchdowns in the last 5:25. They put 19 points up this quarter. 2:53 to go. And it is fielded at the 10 by DeMond Williams. And Williams will be tackled right there. And we want to remind a comeback for the ages for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. A 19-point fourth quarter. There you see the line score. Michigan State 1 touchdown and a missed extra point. A field goal would tie it now. And Drew Stanton will try to drive them back. Sliding and incomplete. Got away from Scott.
Scott last week with
31
3
to
drops.
14. Coach, go ahead.
Yeah, Brent, I'm sorry, but Scott last week 3 big drops against Pittsburgh right there, and right now mental toughness. If you're Drew Stanton, somebody's got to come up and make a play to get some kind of momentum to make a run late in this game. The middle of the field should be open. Notre Dame playing a lot of 2-deep coverage again.
Stanton in trouble. And it's intercepted. There's a penalty flag thrown on the play. Zivakowski stepping over on the ball. There is a penalty flag thrown. Hang on here a second. Could be a face mask.
Wow.
Incidental face mask, defense number 95. It was still up. Michigan State had possession. Previous spot foul, 5 yards. Repeat second down.
Robbie Amiri, 95. You can take a look at him.
Notre Dame's best defensive lineman this time inadvertently gets his left hand up, comes across the face mask of the quarterback Drew Stanton, and Michigan State catches a break the way the Irish have many times here in the second half. They keep possession, and all of a sudden now they have a chance here on second down.
At some point, Matt Trannon at 6'6" has to show up before this night is over, doesn't he?
Haven't seen him yet tonight.
Except when he
for the
threw
melee.
for a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly.
No. He
Right.
threw for
You're
a
right.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Middle too high. They were looking for him, and he's not that tall with 1:47 to go. 3rd down and 5. So we come down for 2 downs for the Spartans. to keep it going. Can they force overtime again?
Start talking about the versatility of Drew Stanton in this Michigan State offense and how they spread you out and then attack to the middle with their passing game. Not only that, depending on what Notre Dame comes out in, he can also run speed option from the shotgun. So he's very versatile, and we'll see how they try to come after this Notre Dame defense depending on what coverage they come out in.
No questions, 2 downs to make the first down. That goes without saying. They could run the football here.
Yeah, Michigan State's 0 of 6 on 3rd down this half. On the slant, and they have got the big fellow that time, Matt Trannon. That's his first reception, and that moves the chains. And for a few moments, the clock stops, 1:42.
The big guy was such a big advantage with his size. And we're watching in warm-ups the field goal kicking in Michigan State. They've got to get to about the 30-yard line with Brett Swinson to have a legitimate shot at kicking a tying field goal.
So Drew Stanton, his first completion of the half, and the play is stopped with the flag. That's hard to believe that Stanton went to 1:33 left to complete a pass. Jess Miller.
Keep in mind, this Notre Dame secondary has given up some huge home runs over the last couple years. But Michigan State continues to self-destruct.
Here's first down. There's a strike, and Trannon tried to battle for more yards. I thought he was out of bounds down there, and the linesman agrees. He'll mark it right down there. 1:21 to go. And Bob, I hate to bring this up, but you mentioned it, and I can remember one night you were over there on the sideline late in the game. You'll still remember that play.
I can remember the exact situation in 2000. Michigan State beat us. Herb Haygood caught a 70-yard slant on 4th and 10 to beat us. Better watch a double move right here by Trannon. A little out and up, something like that Michigan beat them on last week.
Second down and 6. Stanton on the move. Crum got him, throwing him down. So they're
keeps him in bounds.
Keeps it in bounds.
Great play there by Crum to be able to bring down Drew Stanton. But Bob, Notre Dame's defense, their corners are sitting back because of the one-on-one coverage. Don't be shocked here to see Drew Stanton go underneath. Well, this time they're up tight. Try to take away that underneath throw.
Needs the first down. Needs the 5. Going to take off for it, and he's short.
Call timeout if you're Michigan State.
They've got
right
one
here.
timeout left in 37 seconds, and there it is. Now they need to get downfield close enough where they can spike the ball to stop the clock and get the field goal team on the field. But first things first, they need yards here. They're only near midfield. Kirk, what'd you say? He's got to get to the 30.
Got to get to about the 30-yard line to have a legitimate shot. What an adjustment there by Notre Dame's secondary to get up into the face of the Michigan State wide receivers. I think it caught Drew Stanton off guard.
For those of you who joined us late, this was the comeback. Ndukwe, number 18, yanking the ball free for the Irish. Brady Quinn hitting Raymond McKnight for the touchdown. Then the interception, and Lambert, the junior, taking it in. And Notre Dame with 19 points this quarter.
An interesting, Javon Ringer is in the game right now.
Usually means option, like you said, when Ringer's in.
Notre Dame in man-to-man coverage right here. They're up there committed to stop the run.
Look at the option. It's a first down. Trying to get out of bounds. He does. Stops the clock. With 32, it would have stopped with the first down. But he makes it even more permanent by stepping out of bounds. Now 32 seconds to go. Remember, the Spartans are out of timeouts here, guys.
Pass protection right now, Brent. Obviously a huge key with no timeouts. The escapability of Drew Stanton really helps you right here if you're Michigan State. Keep plays alive with your legs.
Also, just the execution. Without any timeouts, everybody has to be efficient if they're not able to get out of bounds.
Steps up, fires, and incomplete.
Wow. Tell you what, he avoided the sack by Abby.
What are they signaling down there? Rice and the Irish say they've got it. Was that Lambert again on the near side? We're going to have to take a look at this.
Ball is deflected by 30. Richardson right there, right into the hands, off the leg, off the foot of Richardson, and falls on the back of Reed.
Unbelievable.
Oh, my
Was he
gosh.
in bounds, though, when he gained possession of that ball?
Watch the ball go off Richardson, right into the hands, off the leg, and how it stays up off the ground.
The defender recovered that ball on top. It's an interception. First down.
I think he was in bounds.
The ball never touched the ground, and it looks like he's in bounds.
But you know, if I'm John L. Smith, I use the coach's challenge here just because it's so critical.
He doesn't have any timeouts left, Brent.
That's true.
But they're going to review this. There's obviously time to review it.
You're exactly right. Let me go back on that rule because I made a mistake and you were right on it. You've got to have a timeout to be able to issue a coach's challenge.
This is pinball right here. Richardson. Then it hits Richardson on the back of the leg.
He's in bounds. That's an interception.
This is just unbelievable. This is the young man who intercepted the pass and took it into the end zone.
The ball is alive. Does he have possession?
The left knee's down right there. And again, how fitting for Lambert after the week that he had last week against Michigan.
3 turnovers in the second half, correct, for Michigan State?
Yeah, I don't think it'd make any good if you challenged it or not. It looked like a clean interception. Yeah. That was remarkable that the ball stayed up on top of him. And Charlie Weiss is saying this game's over.
Yeah. On a change of possession, the clock starts. This game's over.
He says, start that clock.
You can expect to see this one on Instant Classic.
This is an Instant Classic.
Like maybe
if you're a Notre Dame fan.
Yeah.
A 19-point fourth quarter and a stunned crowd here at Spartan Stadium. As Charlie Weiss comes across to just over shaking hands, and the fans here just simply cannot believe it. 40 years ago, they stood and waited for several minutes afterwards. And let's go back to Lisa now with Coach.
Thanks, Brent.
Hey,
Charlie,
get him over with the band.
Charlie down 10 points with 7 minutes to go. How in the world did you guys pull this one out?
Well, when we went in at halftime, we said that, if we don't play 30 minutes of complete football, then we got no chance. And, at least we made enough plays down the stretch, a combination of, teams and defense and offense. We made the big interception at the end to take the lead. It was just a hard-fought victory. I mean, hey, Michigan State's good, give them credit, but I'm proud of my kids here today.
You got a ball in your hand. Is this the game ball?
Actually, I'm going to give this to Coach Parsegian in honor of the 66 team. When we honor him next week at the Purdue game, he's getting this ball.
Nice touch. Now, I got to ask you, when Julian missed that point after, you guys were down by 4, you didn't call any timeouts. What did you tell your defense?
I said, you get the ball back, we'll score a touchdown.
And your reaction, we have it on videotape, but when Terrell Lambert got that interception and ran it back for a touchdown, can you describe it to me?
It was probably ugly if you had it on videotape. But thanks a lot. I'm going to get over with my players.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. Congratulations. Brent?
All right, Lisa. So Charlie Weiss and the Irish pull off a stunner. 3 touchdowns in the last 5:25, 19 points in the quarter. Brady Quinn, who came back with a sluggish start and then turned it loose. 319 yards, 5 touchdowns tonight, and only 1 interception. And J.U. Colcrick, 111 yards and a touchdown. And Chevrolet, in a recognition of those efforts, makes a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. So there you have it. A classic, especially if you're a Notre Dame fan. They rally to pull it out, 40-37. Join us next week. Saturday Night Football on ABC goes to Iowa City, Iowa. The #1 team in the nation, the Ohio State Buckeyes, will take on Iowa. Airtime on ABC at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC.
The Irish tonight in the second half, they stood up and they were very, very strong.